Hello and welcome to the video for Monday for August 24th, game design. Okay, let me go ahead and open this up so everybody can come on in. Hello.
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 Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys?
How are you guys?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Doing well.
Doing well.
Doing good.
All right. Well, let me go ahead while people are jumping in the class. Let me open up the attendance and I can get that taken care of. Okay, so game design. And then let's see who all we got here. Okay, first up on my list is Isai. Let's see if Isai is here. I don't see Isai yet, so we'll go to the next one. Eduardo. Not yet. Oh, there's Isai, so I'll go ahead and put him in. And then we have Britt. Let's see, Britt is here. Okay, and then we have Jazz. Jazz is here. We have Nick. Let me see if Nick is here. Yep, Nick's here. So Nick is there. Okay, next we have Sydney. Do I see a Sydney? Nope. Okay, we have Jeshua.
Hello.
Hi, Jeshua. Okay, so Jeshua's here. We have Hunter, who's here. And I see a chat here. Let me see what the chat says. Just joined. Sorry, I'm late. Okay, no problem, Isai. All right, let's see. Then we have Luis. Luis. Not yet. Okay, then we have Brian. Where's Mr. Brian? Brian. Not here yet. Okay. Then we have Joshua. I don't see Joshua. Okay. Creed. No Creed that I see.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, you are here? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I don't know why it didn't come up. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
If I say you're not here and you are, just please correct me. Okay, then we have Livia, who is here.
Here.
And then we have...
I'm sorry, Greg. Quick aside. Was that
Yeah.
Brian Garcia?
Let's see. Yes.
Yeah, he's here. When you said his name, he waved, but he didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I can't always see everybody because there's so much.
I know. Just mentioning it to people. Please unmute yourself for attendance to say you're here.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, good idea. Okay, so I got Coulter, and now I'm looking to see if Esteban is here, and it looks like he is. So I'm clicking him in. We're looking for Michael at this point. Michael. I don't see Michael. Let's see. Jesse. Nah, Jesse.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. I believe you. Let's see. Hugo. I thought I saw you. Yeah, you're here. Okay, I thought I saw Victoria. Yes, I did.
Here.
Hi, Victoria. Let's see. Logan, I see. It's
right here.
Sam, I see. And then Jaden is here. Okay, thank you. And then Cal Whitney. Are you here? Oh, you are. Okay. All right. So the only ones I didn't have were Michael Powers, Joshua Lamb, Luis Espinoza, and Sydney Davis and Eduardo. Now I know Eduardo's brand new to the class, so let me check. I'm just gonna, if you guys don't mind, I'm just gonna check my email real quick to make sure he didn't send me an email asking what's going on. Okay, he didn't send me one, so assume he's gonna show up at some point. Okay, so how you guys doing? Did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
awesome. Did you guys get a chance to connect at all and talk about your games?
And piecemeal.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
think so.
That's awesome. So what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and open up our folder here so that we can look in and see what you guys might have put in there. Okay, here we go. So I'll just do it by looking up your names and my email. Okay, so let me start by sharing my screen. And what we'll do is we'll just go. I'll just go on my little list here. Now, one of the things I want to do is just check in with you guys and see if you actually came up with an idea, and then also if you have like talked at all about whether or not you want to have like a name for your team or not. And if you do, then we can figure out what that name is, or you can figure that out and let me know. So here we're going to the game design post here, and we're going to discuss your concepts, right? So I have some questions here, which you can ask yourselves. What is the name of your team and who is on it? If you don't have a name, maybe you want to come up with one. I also have the questions: how did communications go with your team this week? Does it make sense to have a team captain? And if so, who will it be? Right? And then another point that I have down here. Sorry, I singled you out on this, Jazz, but you helped so much with the setup last week that I put you in here. So the solo developers, the people who are just working on their own, not with teams, we need to invite you to the Indie Discord channel. And I thought maybe Jazz could create an invite that we could send to people for that. Okay. So let's start with, I'm just going to go down my screen here, the people that are showing up, and ask you some of these questions so you can answer them. So Creed, you're at the top of my screen. So did you guys actually come up with a name for your team?
No, we haven't. We didn't discuss a team name or anything. So for
Okay.
right now, we're just Team 4.
Okay, well that works. So Team 4 it is. And you guys go ahead and think about if you want to come up with a name and let me know what it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Creed, you're on the team. Do you know who else is on the team, or maybe you guys can just tell me who you are that's on Team 4? Creed, who else?
Luis is on our team,
Luis, okay,
and then Brian,
okay,
and then the fourth person is their Discord name is McPick, but they haven't put really much into the Discord chat, so I'm not sure who it is.
That's me.
oh, Esteban,
Yeah.
Cool.
okay, and there's just you four?
Yeah.
Okay, so now did you guys write down a document and put it in somebody's Google Drive?
Yeah, we put it in mine.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. Okay, so it's going to be this. So we'll search for Creed. Okay, would one of you guys like to introduce us to this concept?
Yeah, I could do it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a card game where I haven't thought of a name for the game yet or anything, but yeah, so it works for up to 4 players. Each player will select from various monster cards. They'll be like creepy Lovecraftian monsters, and you'll just they'll all the monsters start with like base health, stamina, and attack stats, and you kind of just go through and encounter with little mini fights, and you'll end up fighting a mini boss and then a main boss that will, also be cards that we create. That'll probably be, I was thinking, like humans that have devised some kind of contraption to fight the monsters. And then at the beginning of each game, the players select like 5 cards from a stat deck, which the stats could give them, buff to their health, stamina, or attack. And, if they use one of those stat cards in the battle, they would have to discard it at the end of the battle. Or they could luck out and get a mutation card, which would then grant them a permanent buff to either health, attack, or stamina, but then it would cause a debuff to another one of their stats. So,
Nice. Okay, and so how did you guys develop this idea? Did somebody have an original idea and then you all riffed on that, or how did it work?
yeah, so I kind of just was thinking about like I just thought I like Lovecraftian kind of monsters. I thought it'd be cool to play as the monster, so I was thinking about that, and then I was kind of watching YouTube videos about Dark Souls card game, and I kind of took a lot of ideas from the Dark Souls card game, and then we were kind of just discussing it in the Discord, just throwing ideas back and forth and kind of growing it from there.
Cool. That sounds great. A perfect way to do it. And then you agreed to be the guy who would write up the summary.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Well, it's great. I love the idea. I think it's wonderful. Do any of you other folks have any suggestions or questions for this team about this game?
Not so far. Sounds like a decent concept.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, do you have people in your group that can do the artwork and stuff?
I'm not sure. I was thinking because my roommate Gabriel is really good at drawing creepy stuff. I was wondering if I could just commission him to draw me some creepy stuff,
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
possibly. Otherwise, if someone else in the group is good at drawing, that'd be cool too.
maybe just give him like Cheetos and a pizza.
Yeah, I know, right? Just give him a pizza dinner. That would work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, and that's part of the team concept too. Is obviously you talk through the ideas, but then you have to break the game down into component pieces, right?
Right.
So somebody's going to work on the rules. Um,
Right.
you're going to want to create art for a box, what a game box would look like.
Okay.
You want to create the games itself, and then you have to figure out the mechanics,
Right.
how it actually works. And then, eventually we're going to get to the point where we're play testing it inside of like software like Tabletop Simulator, and then you
Right.
want to take information from that and incorporate it into the game.
Cool.
So you guys can talk and sort of, in the perfect world, you divvy these tasks up so that everybody did approximately a similar amount of stuff,
Right.
contribute to the game, right? Now, if there's people who, haven't contributed much, maybe because of a variety of factors, it was the first time, we didn't really have our communication down or whatever,
Right.
make sure you involve those people moving forward, and so that you all have a set time to meet and talk, and that you divvy up the work, and then there's some accountability where you check on people and say, did you do that work? Okay, well, you need to do that so we can
Right.
move to the next step, right?
Right.
Now, let me ask you guys some of those questions that I put on the website. Does your team think, do you think you would benefit from having a team captain?
Um, I think so. Just as a way to even like try to figure out when everybody can get together and like how to divvy up those like different parts of the game that you were talking about. It would be nice to have a team captain to kind of like figure that stuff out for sure.
Okay, and what do you think, Nick? Do you like that idea? I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I apologize. Esteban, do you like that idea of a team captain?
Yeah, sounds good.
And then Brian, are you on here? I can't see everybody right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, does that work for you, the team captain?
yeah, I like that idea.
And Luis, are you here? Okay, I don't think he is. But anyway, okay. Well, I would nominate Creed to be your team captain. Do you guys okay with that? Brian, you okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay. So, Creed, I think you're a good person to do it because you seem like a go-getter. So, why don't you be the team captain, and then you can do all that coordination stuff with your team.
Sounds good.
Okay. Cool. Anything else you want to let us know about the game, or is that pretty much it?
Pretty much it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to go down. Let's see. So we have Esteban and Brian are part of that team. So let's see. Jazz. Oh, you think Joshua was trying to join us? Let me see. Yes, you're correct. Okay, thank you. I just let him in. Um,
Awesome.
okay. So Jazz, what number is your team?
Team one.
Okay, and who's on that team?
It's me, Nick, Logan, and Jesse.
You, Nick, Logan, and Jesse.
Hmm.
Okay, and did you put something written in somebody's folder?
Yes, that link I sent you should have our doc in it. It doesn't look nearly as neat as this last one, but
I'm going to deduct points. Just kidding.
it's a brainstorming doc primarily.
All right.
We've also got a bunch of like game resources in there that I was working on this. That's not right.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me
Okay.
send you a new invite because that's a different folder.
All right.
Uh, share with wait, who? What was it? What was your email again?
Oh, let me type it here in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Easy enough. Okay, done. All right, you should be getting a new email.
This is the kind of thing that never works. Like when everybody's watching and it's supposed to happen, that stuff never happens.
Yeah.
I know
Right.
this from experience. Sometimes what happens is it goes to my personal email, which is weird, but it happens sometimes. Okay, it's not going there either. It could just be like uber slow. Maybe you're in one of these other links.
Oh, my bad. So there's this.
Mistype it or
Excellent. Okay. No, yeah, their interface is a bit wonky, so it should be coming now.
there it is. Okay, what should I open? Game?
Our game design doc, game board ideas. So what we were just discussing was what we want as a theme, what we wanted to encapsulate, and our first suggestion was cyberpunk, and everybody kind of we went through the basics of how that theme works and what's in it and all that. We kind of settled on a hacking game in a cyberpunk setting.
Okay.
Um, so we're borrowing mechanics from a few different games. We have a secret goal for each player. They'll get an identity card and they keep it secret. And on that card is like a list of what we're calling resources or maybe aspects of control. We haven't really settled on that.
Okay.
Um, we want to control robots. We want to get AI research, and we want private records access. Those are the three main things that hackers are going to be after. And if you go on missions, like somebody's hiring you for a mission, those are the mission cards. You draw one every turn, or maybe we'll have a set of missions to choose from. But those missions will have a target for each of those resources, right? We need to write code to control robots, or we need to write code as an AI, or we need to write code to access private data. And that's represented in like a difficulty of the mission for each resource. And once you acquire that mission, you can use like reusable code, and that value becomes a permanent bonus to any scripts you write in the future. So there might be like super mega secure cards that come up that you can't take on until you've written a lot more code. So we've got script cards. Those will be the ones that use to attack the missions, to acquire them. And this is all very sketchy so far.
Okay.
But that's the basics of it. You play script cards to acquire missions, and the missions will have like an infamy and like a general systems control number. And the victory condition is based somewhere between the two. And I haven't quite figured that formula out yet, but we're all just like still in the early design specs of the mechanics.
Okay. Well, it sounds really cool and really interesting. Sounds like it's going to be complex in kind of a fun way. Um,
Indeed.
okay. Do any of you other guys want to comment on anything that Jazz said? Anything? Let's see, Nick, Logan, Jesse, you have any comments you want to add to that, or do you think you did a pretty good job?
I think he did a pretty good job. So
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
All right, sweet. Okay, and you guys, it seems like you had some good communication. You were able to coordinate your activities and figure all this stuff out.
It
Okay.
was kind of piecemeal over time, but yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So one thing that might help all you teams moving forward is if you could pick, set times and dates or something, or whatever works for you guys. Maybe I was visiting the chats and I noticed somebody said something about turning your notifications on and stuff like that. So you guys, if you can figure out, obviously everybody has wildly different schedules, but if you can figure out a time like, hey, Wednesday nights at 8, let's chat for 30 minutes, and then make sure everybody has notifications turned on, and then you'll get updates all throughout the week or whatever. Whatever you guys can do, the more coordinated you are, the better your communication will be, and ultimately the better the end product will be. So whatever you can do along those lines. Now, are you guys okay with the idea of having a captain, a team captain?
Yeah, I think we all kind of voted Jazz pretty much because he kind of definitely took control of what's it called, like organization and kind of like what's it called, giving assignments to each one of us as well.
Okay. All right, good. So Jazz, you're okay with being captain?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's really helpful when it comes to game design. Obviously working in teams is sort of a necessity because of the amount of work, but it's great to have one person that's in charge. Then you have somebody to blame when things go wrong, right? But also you have somebody to contact as a main point of contact so you can get everything happening, right?
Right.
Okay, that sounds great. So let's see. Jazz, okay, Logan. All right, so next down here we have, let me see. Let me look at my list here. Coulter. How are you doing, Coulter?
Let me unmute myself.
Okay.
So yeah, what should I start with?
Well, what team number are you on?
Oh, team number 3.
Okay.
We haven't
uh,
come up with a name quite yet.
Okay.
But yeah.
Maybe you other people who are on team 3 can tell me your names.
Jaden
Okay.
and Isai,
Isai, you're on that?
yes.
Okay. And then was there one more?
Hugo.
Hugo. Perfect. Okay, Coulter, you want to go ahead and let's see. Which one of you guys put something in a folder?
We each put so what we did, we each kind of split up and came up with our own concept, and we're now quickly choosing which one to actually go with for the class. We decided on I believe
mine.
yeah.
Jaden's my poker one.
Yeah, we decided to go with something a little bit easier. So it should be in his folder, I believe.
Who's
Jaden?
Jaden?
Jaedyn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so how he kind of explained it was just like poker, but with some alternative rules and steps and stuff. If you want to explain it, you can probably do a better job of explaining it than me.
Yeah. So in poker, specifically 5-card draw, there's a part in which players can trade out the cards that they have in their hand for different cards in the deck to try to improve what they have. And so we're essentially keeping that aspect, but also adding a new part in which players are able to steal other players' cards instead of drawing from the deck. So if you wanted to get rid of 3 cards, instead of trading out 3 cards from the deck for your current 3 cards, you can take somebody else's 3 cards. Or you can take 1 card from 3 different people, so on and so forth. But you can't split between stealing somebody's cards and taking from the deck. So that being said, nobody's cards are exactly safe for one. For two, everyone's going to have a general idea of what somebody else has, because of the fact that you can steal the same set of cards multiple times across different people. Um, Again, like going in turn from each individual player. If I stole a card from one person, the next person who goes can also steal the card from the person I stole it from, until everything goes around like it would in a normal poker game. And other than that, nothing's really different. Everything else, card value, options that you have between turns, everything else is practically the same. It's just the fact that you can now take from somebody else, and it just kind of adds a more personal and competitive aspect to the game.
Okay, that sounds cool. It sounds really interesting. Now, I think I was in your chat, and were you originally proposing a combination of Old Maid and poker?
I couldn't necessarily think of a different name or different card game that kind of went with it. All I remember is that Old Maid, you kind of took cards from another player and add
Okay.
them to whatever you had. So that's why I kind of put that down. I couldn't think of
Okay.
another card game that really did that.
Okay. It sounds like a really fun idea. I have a couple of questions for you. One is, do you think you guys might want to sort of customize the card deck? You can still stick with sort of the basic poker deck, but might you guys want to customize it somehow, like through the artwork, and maybe make it apply to something very specific? Like, for example, you could create a card deck that has, medieval characters on it, or a card deck that has futuristic robots, or you see what I mean? You could change the theme of the game by changing the artwork on the cards, right?
Yeah, we were just discussing that in chat so
Okay,
that
great.
we could
Yeah,
have
that
like an actual design on the cards and
Yeah.
kind of probably give each individual style card its
yeah,
own
that's
kind of flair.
that's a good idea for the design aspect, and maybe we can incorporate, since it's like you're kind of stealing cards from players. Maybe we can put that into the design, maybe
Yeah,
something like that.
Now, I think this is going to be a really important game. I mean, it's important that you play test all games, but I think this one in particular is going to be important because of the mechanics. And let me tell you a couple things that I thought of when you were describing the game. First of all, you said something like everybody's going to kind of have some idea what everybody else has because of the fact that you can steal cards, right? But one of the things that occurred to me was, you know, that may not necessarily be true because the hands are going to change so quickly. Uh,
yeah.
if I steal three cards from the guy next to me, and then he gets three cards from the deck, I have no idea what he has. Do you know what I mean? So,
Well, he can't trade cards from the deck if he took somebody else's cards.
no, no. What
So
I
like
mean,
I said, oh
I mean, so
what I mean is, okay. Let's say I'm playing and Coulter's sitting next to me, right? So what
yeah,
I do is I say I want to trade in three cards, but instead of taking him from the deck, I'm going to take him from Coulter, right? So
yes,
I discard three cards. I take three from Coulter, right? Now, are you saying that I give him my three cards?
yes. You give
Oh,
him your three cards,
okay, I see. So we do have
and you
some idea of
take
what he has.
you take his three cards, but
Okay,
you don't get to see which three cards. He just kind of holds them out,
right,
uh, and you just pick them out random.
right. Okay, so I kind
Yeah,
of know what he has, and it's all then it becomes a memory game because the better you
yeah,
are remembering what people have, then the more you can keep track of things, right?
exactly. Yeah,
Now, a couple things, but of course that kind of gets lost because let's say Coulter is next to, let's just say he's playing with Isai or something like that. Um, and then Coulter says, okay, I'm going to take three cards from Isai. And then you don't know which three cards he traded to Isai, so you have no idea what is in his hand anymore. However, if somehow you made it so that the players somehow had to put some of their cards on the table at some point, like maybe, maybe if somebody's cards got traded out and they wanted to trade three cards over to the next person, maybe they had to put them on the table and show the three cards. Now I know I'm just throwing shit up into the air right now, but what I'm saying is it's going to change so quickly that it'll be hard to keep track of what anybody has. Now, if that's not a key component of your game, you don't have to address it. But if you want it to be a big part of the game, then maybe you have to find a way where people show some part of their hands during their turn so that you can keep track of what they actually have.
Okay.
Do you see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Initially, I wasn't planning on it being such a big factor of the game, but
Okay.
that
Well,
does
that's what I
seem like
said. If it's
something
not
that
that,
could be interesting to look at
yeah, if that's not
potentially
important,
to add.
well, what you can do, Jaden, is you can look at it and take it one direction or the other. You can either say, this is not a big part of the game, so we're not going to worry about it, or you can say, yeah, this would be really cool, and then you can talk and see if you can figure out a way to track people's cards, you know? Uh,
Okay.
okay, so that's really cool. And then, of course,
Oh, I think I have an idea.
you're playing sort of regular poker, and whoever has the best hands wins the pot and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and um, so you might want to set a victory condition that has to do with something specific, like a specific number of hands or a specific amount of time.
Well, that's what we're going to incorporate, like chips into the game and like value to like money or whatever.
Okay, okay, but it says right here the game continues until one player has won all the money. Okay, so that's your
Yeah,
victory condition. Okay, great.
yeah.
Okay, well, I think you guys are off to a great start. Like I said, explore those different possibilities, and then obviously a lot of play testing will be good for you guys.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
yeah. And let's see. Do you guys want to name a team captain? Who's up for team captain?
I mean, I guess I am,
Okay,
or yeah.
sure.
Nobody really.
We'll go ahead and call you team captain. That works for me. There's not a lot of pay for the job, and you don't win any awards, but it's good to have one. Okay. All right, let's see. So who is on team 2? Who are some of you people?
Hello, that'd be me, Joshua.
Here,
Okay, Joshua. Who else?
me, hi.
Hunter. All
On
right.
that team.
Me,
And who's me?
Samuel.
Sam. Okay, do we have one more?
Brit.
Perfect. All right, so who's the lucky person with the document in their folder?
I am. Brit is.
Okay. Brit.
And it's just in the drive, so.
All right, you want to explain it to us?
So, the basic concept for it was that it's Battleship. It's a real-time strategy version of Battleship, except that the ships aren't modern ships. They're all like medieval pirate ships.
Colonial.
Okay. So real-time battleship called Man of War, 2-player game, islands that can be captured and provide buffs. Ships have their own stats, and attack and defense based on die rolls. Okay, damage is done if one die is higher than the other, and players take turns moving a unit and performing attacks. Winner is the last man standing. Okay. So, captain cards with special abilities. Each ship has a point value, and players can build their own fleets, mix and match to get to the point max. Unique ships, custom dice for wind direction. That's fun. Equipment for ships, e.g., ball and chain, single-use item, probably used with point values. So, what's the ball and chain do?
So like that would like stun somebody's ship. Like if you used ball and chain, it would stun your opponent's ship so they couldn't move for the turn.
Okay, cool.
Or they'd have to perform repairs at an island or something.
Okay. So you were thinking of maybe going, so you said a different era than modern, so it might be like the pirate era?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I like that, and I think if that's the case, then obviously you want to, if that's your aesthetic, then obviously you want to make everything be piratey. You know what I mean? So like you've got the ball and chain, you could have skeletons, you could have the treasure, if you go look at all those little pirate tropes, all the stereotypes that are associated with pirate movies and games and stuff, maybe you can draw a lot of inspiration from that. Maybe you can look at the kind of ships that the pirates had, and come up with the different names like galleon or schooner or whatever the hell they're called. And maybe there can be even some other cool cards like the ball and chain card that come from your research, right?
Hmm.
Okay, I think this is really fun. I think it's a cool idea. Do any of you other guys have anything you want to say about this?
Yeah, we already have the different kind of ships that are going to be available for like each side.
Oh, cool.
Um, we were thinking about having a gunboat, but I can't find a 3D model to import to Tabletop Simulator for that.
Okay.
But if I can find a gunboat, the 5 different types of ships would be a gunboat, a sloop, a brig, a frigate, and a galleon.
How cool is that? I'm so glad to hear you guys did that. Okay, perfect. So that's super fun. And then, of course, like you said, if you can find models or somebody who can make models, you can bring all those into Tabletop Simulator, right? Now, it's great. It's a good idea to start a game and base it on a simple concept like an existing game or something like that. But I would also encourage you guys, as you progress, to consider ways that you could evolve the game. Like, is there a way that this 2-person game could become a 4-person game? Like, for example, Battleship has that, that little screen that's up between 2 people, right? But if you took that screen, what if you took that screen and you basically made a box out of it, so there's 4 sides. Could there be 4 people sitting around looking at the same map with little pegs or something like that would put in, pegs when they fired and found, empty spots like Battleship? And so you could expand the game from 2 to 4 players.
We actually were talking about how many players we wanted to have, but we were just going to do a base for 2 players and then see if we could scale it up to more.
Yeah, and of course it doesn't have to be standing up. It can just be maps that people have in front of them that are maybe they're shielded by a little sort of a vertical shield wall, yeah, that stops people from seeing where their ships are. So yeah, I think it sounds super fun, and I think a lot of the fun from a game development like this is going and researching everything and doing the artwork and coming up with the names, and maybe you can go find some pirate routes, like go find maps of where pirates were really active at like the Horn of Africa or something like that, and you could base your map on actual pirate route. Okay, anyway, this sounds really cool. Any other comments or anything else you guys want to add? Okay, I think this is great. And then who wants to be the team captain for this?
We were going to actually opt out of having a team captain.
Okay, you don't want to have a captain? That's fine. Okay. All right, cool. So looks great. So that's the 4 teams. There were just 4, right? There's not a 5th team. Now, there's some solo designers, people that are working on their own stuff. And let's see, maybe you guys can let me know who you are so we can talk about what you've worked on. Who's working as a solo person?
I am.
Okay, what's your name?
Cal.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Cal.
Cal. Okay, let me find you, Cal, in my list here. Are you the one? You're not the one with the little picture of the girl, are you?
No.
Okay, okay. I got to find you. Oh, there you are. Okay, Cal, do you have a folder down there somewhere?
Yeah, it should be roulette game. Should be.
Okay.
Or, yeah. So basically, I did basically it's like a roulette table you see at the casinos. The only thing differently would be basically you would have a mega spin, which can come up to 5 numbers, which can be 50x, 100x, 200x, and 400x, and 500x. But those would only pop up with like a certain percentage. I don't know how I would set that up, but it would have to come up. Let's say you bet 5 times and it doesn't hit a Mega Roulette Lightning number, then it would have to like bump up the percentage so that, like, let's say on the 6th roll, it would have to be a Mega Roulette spin, basically.
Okay.
And the payouts are basically the same. What else? You can't win unless you bet on a number.
Okay.
Rule
You
36.
can't bet black. You can't bet black or red.
I think I put it. If you look down at payouts, it should
Okay.
say, what it's shows. So basically the same. You only get paid out if it lands on your selected and confirmed bet. Yeah, it's basically it. I don't know the theme yet I would pick or how it'd work, but that's basically the concept.
Okay, cool. So you must be good at math?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, this sounds fun, and I like how you've charted this out. It sounds like you have a really specific, cool idea, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you're going to put this thing together.
All right, thank you.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so let's see. Who else is a solo artist working on their own little game here?
Me, Livia.
Okay. Oh, Captain. All right. So, and then I'm going to put solo down here. And so we have Cal and we have Livia for 2. Okay. So let's see. Livia, is it okay if I open your folder, or do you just want to tell us? Which would you prefer to do?
The folder.
Okay. Okay, is there a more advanced version than this one?
Oh no, it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same. I attach it and it's also in the Google Drive.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Do you want to explain it a little bit, or how would you like to do this?
It's a card game. I have a terrible pronunciation. I don't know if you want to read it.
Okay, I can read it for you. So this game is called It's Toxic, and it's a strategic card game about toxic relationships. So the concept is, can you escape from a toxic relationship? It can go, I imagine, 2 to 4 players, and it's for mature audiences. And then you have regular size playing cards and mini cards.
Yes.
Okay, so there's 16 cards, which are going to be character cards. Each card represents the player and their personality. It details their hates and likes. Okay, and then there's going to be regular cards, which are action cards. And here's some examples, like buy a new game console, go out to dinner, dress sexy, start a valid argument, etc. I like start a valid argument instead of just start an argument. You know, oh, it's Wednesday, I'm going to start an argument, you know. Okay, the mini cards are challenge cards for control and jealousy. This is great. Busted, your cell phone is checked, right? It's audit day, prepare to explain the last restaurant bill. Ooh, ouch. Hide your car, a rock is coming. Okay. Then we have cards for lack of respect and conflict. No internet for you, the password was changed. Cards for sexual attitudes is Tuesday sex at 8 p.m. sharp, don't be late. Today you look awesome. Birthday, let's go to dinner. So those are positives. Okay. All right. So then we have, you want to come up with asexual names for the characters so it's not excluding anybody, right?
Exactly.
Inclusive. So we've got a bunch of names here. And then here's some possible mechanics. Define the value of the positive and negative cards. Must be between 1 and 5 points. Okay, so you don't want there to be a lot of math in this game. You want it to be like, you know, you're a 2 and you're a 3, so you win kind of thing. Okay. Define the value of the action cards. Maybe they are positive values that can be added or subtracting according to the hates and likes of the character. So maybe there would be a number on each card, and certain cards would be subtracted from others to
Yes.
value. Okay. Winner is the one with more points when all the cards are dealt, question mark. Positive cards can let you discard negative cards. That's nice. Force negative cards onto opponents, right, to mess them up. Some of the cards can be used against opponents. Okay. Gathering all positive cards, question mark, and are discarded cards no longer in use? Maybe yes, so the game can be played faster. Okay. So, any comments from you guys? Any thoughts, questions, suggestions on this game?
It's very creative.
Yeah, it is very creative.
Oh, thank you.
I like the idea.
Yeah, it sounds really fun.
Yeah, that seems nice.
And what kind of graphic style were you thinking of using, Livia?
I'm gonna use an Art Deco style for all the game.
Art Deco. That's great.
Yes.
I love Art Deco. Okay, so that would be very interesting. And that's also very romantic style, right? In a way, like
Yes, and also is geometric. So I plan to draw the characters in geometric way, so it can also be more inclusive.
oh, that's cool. So
Mhm.
so you're going to use the Art Deco style, and you're going to produce characters that are consistent with and inspired by that. And because they're sort of because they're drawn in an Art Deco way, it's going to make them a little bit asexual, right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
That's all really, that's a good level of thinking and a very complete and well thought out document. So thank you. This looks great. I'm excited to see
Thank you.
it. Yeah. Okay. And so who else is on this solo list? Anybody else developing a game by themselves?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Victoria said something and then maybe somebody else. Okay, Victoria, do you want to
Let me turn on my camera.
okay.
Okay. I didn't make a Google Doc. I kind of wrote it down on paper.
Okay, that's fine. So do you want to just explain it to us?
Yeah. So it's basically like Monopoly, but the twist on it, it's gonna be kind of like a battle Monopoly in the sense, and it's gonna be a fantasy genre.
Okay.
And basically, instead of buying property until you own the entire board, you're gonna have to duel for strongholds until you have taken a hold of the entire board, and your group is in charge of the board basically.
Okay, so it's fantasy Monopoly, but what you do is you duel to gain territory, and then whoever gains all the territory wins, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That sounds super fun. And do you have like a name for it or anything?
No, not yet. I'm still thinking of names.
Okay, and so you're doing this all yourself. So you're going to create some artwork for it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It sounds fun. It sounds like a really cool idea. Okay, anybody else have any input they want to give to that? To Victoria's idea? Okay. All right. So let's see. Now it seemed like somebody else was talking when I said, "Was there anybody else who has a suggestion of that they did solo work?" So was there another solo artist out there? Somebody else who did solo work? Okay. If they are, they're either not talking or they're talking. Their microphone is muted. Okay. So I'm going to assume for right now that's all the total amount of solo artists and teams. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. My little computer screen here froze. So now would be a good time to take a little 5-minute break. Go ahead and get yourself a drink or use the restroom or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and unfreeze my computer, and then when we come back, we'll talk about some actual game design stuff. Okay? Go ahead and take a break.